What could a Hollywood star and one of tennis's brightest young talents possibly have in common? At first glance, the answer seems like very little. One has built a career on the silver screen, captivating audiences around the world. The other is a rising tennis star who has spent years fighting her way through the demanding world of professional sports. Yet after Alexandra Eala's unforgettable run at Wimbledon, those two worlds unexpectedly collided. Eala's breakthrough wasn't just another inspiring sports story. It became a global conversation. Fans, journalists, former champions, and even celebrities found themselves drawn to the determination, courage, and maturity she displayed on one of tennis's biggest stages. Among those who took notice was Hollywood actor Andrew Garfield. Known for his acclaimed performances and thoughtful public appearances, Garfield described Eala's Wimbledon journey as truly inspiring. His words quickly caught the attention of both sports and entertainment media, raising an interesting question. What was it about Eala's story that resonated so deeply with someone who isn't part of the professional tennis world? Was it her fearless attitude against some of the sport's biggest names? Was it the pressure of carrying the hopes of an entire nation? Or was it something even more universal, the idea that perseverance, humility, and unwavering belief can inspire anyone, regardless of their background? Today, we'll take a closer look at Alexandra Eala's remarkable Wimbledon journey, why it captured the attention of millions around the globe, and what Andrew Garfield's unexpected praise tells us about the growing impact of one of tennis's most exciting young stars. Before Wimbledon, Alexandra Eala was already considered one of the brightest young prospects in women's tennis. But outside of dedicated tennis fans, her name was still unfamiliar to many around the world. Born in the Philippines, Eala began playing tennis at a very young age. Unlike players from traditional tennis powerhouses, she grew up representing a nation with limited history on the professional tour. That meant every step of her journey required not only exceptional talent but also extraordinary determination. Recognizing her potential early, Eala eventually moved to Europe to train at one of the world's most respected tennis academies. There, she spent years refining her game, competing against elite junior players, and learning what it takes to succeed at the highest level. The transition wasn't easy. She was far from home, adapting to a new culture, facing stronger competition, and carrying the expectations of an entire country eager to see a new tennis star emerge. Heading into Wimbledon, expectations were cautious. While many believed Eala had the talent to compete with top players, few predicted she would become one of the tournament's biggest stories. After all, Wimbledon is where experience often matters just as much as talent. The grass courts reward players who remain calm under pressure, make quick decisions, and adapt to the unique pace of the surface. But from the very first match, Eala showed she belonged on one of tennis's biggest stages. She played with remarkable confidence, refusing to be intimidated by higher-ranked opponents. Instead of simply trying to survive, she attacked opportunities, trusted her powerful ground strokes, and demonstrated a level of composure rarely seen from someone so young. Every victory seemed to strengthen her belief, and every round brought more attention from fans and commentators around the world. What impressed many observers wasn't just her shot-making ability, it was her fearless mindset. She competed with the confidence of a veteran, staying focused during crucial moments and refusing to let pressure dictate her game. Whether facing breakpoints or battling through long rallies, Eala consistently showed the mental toughness that separates promising players from future stars. As the tournament progressed, her remarkable run transformed from an exciting surprise into one of Wimbledon's defining stories. Media outlets across the globe began highlighting her performances, while fans admired not only her talent but also her humility and maturity. With each match, Alexandra Eala proved that she wasn't simply enjoying a breakthrough tournament, she was announcing herself as a legitimate contender on the biggest stages in tennis. By the end of her Wimbledon campaign, one thing had become clear. This wasn't just a lucky run. It was the arrival of a player whose fearless performances, unwavering resilience, and remarkable mental strength had captured the attention of the entire tennis world. Number 3. The moment Andrew Garfield spoke about Alexandra Eala, admiration began pouring in from all corners, not just from tennis legends, coaches, and sports journalists, but from people far outside the game. One of the most unexpected voices was Hollywood actor Andrew Garfield. During a media appearance following Eala's breakthrough performances at Wimbledon, Garfield was asked about athletes and inspiring stories that had recently caught his attention. Without hesitation, he pointed to Alexandra Eala's incredible journey, describing it as truly inspiring. Although brief, his comment quickly spread across social media and was picked up by news outlets covering both sports and entertainment. For many fans, it was a surprising crossover moment. Garfield is best known for his award-winning acting career, not for analyzing professional tennis. He isn't a former player, a coach, or a television commentator. Yet that was exactly what made his words so meaningful. Rather than discussing Eala's forehand, her serve, or her tactical decisions on the court, Garfield focused on something much deeper. He recognized the qualities that anyone, whether a sports fan or not, could appreciate: courage, perseverance, humility, and the willingness to keep believing in yourself despite enormous pressure. Those are values that extend far beyond tennis. His reaction reflected what millions of viewers had already begun to feel while watching Eala compete. Every match showcased a young athlete refusing to be intimidated by bigger names or brighter stages. She played with confidence, embraced every challenge, and carried herself with remarkable composure throughout the tournament. That universal message is what made Garfield's praise resonate so strongly. It wasn't about celebrating a single victory or predicting future championships. It was about acknowledging the human story behind the athlete, a story of years of sacrifice, relentless hard work, and unwavering determination finally being rewarded on one of the sport's biggest stages. The media quickly recognized the significance of Garfield's comments. Entertainment outlets reported on the unexpected connection between Hollywood and professional tennis, while sports publications highlighted how Eala's impact was reaching audiences far beyond the traditional tennis community. Suddenly, people who had never followed the WTA Tour found themselves curious about the young Filipino star everyone seemed to be talking about. Celebrity recognition can have a powerful effect, especially for an emerging athlete. When someone with Garfield's global profile publicly praises a rising player, it introduces that athlete to millions of people who may have never watched a tennis match before. It creates new conversations, expands international exposure, and reinforces the idea that an athlete's influence isn't measured only by rankings or trophies, but also by the ability to inspire others. In many ways, Garfield's simple yet heartfelt compliment became another milestone in Alexandra Eala's unforgettable Wimbledon journey. It demonstrated that her story had grown beyond the boundaries of sport, becoming an example of resilience and hope that people from completely different backgrounds could connect with and admire. Why Andrew Garfield's words matter. But in Alexandra Eala's case, his words carried a significance that reached far beyond a single headline. Why? Because recognition from someone outside the world of tennis often signals that an athlete's story has grown into something much bigger than the sport itself. Celebrity influence. Most celebrity attention tends to focus on globally established superstars, players who have already won multiple Grand Slam titles and become household names. Rising athletes, no matter how talented, usually have to spend years proving themselves before they attract that kind of attention. That's what makes Andrew Garfield's praise so remarkable. He wasn't talking about a longtime champion or a player with dozens of major titles. Instead, he chose to highlight a young athlete whose determination and breakthrough performances had genuinely moved him. His comments introduced Alexandra Eala to an entirely different audience. Many people who know Garfield may not follow the WTA Tour or watch tennis regularly. Yet, after hearing him describe Eala's Wimbledon journey as truly inspiring, some inevitably became curious. Who is Alexandra Eala? What did she accomplish at Wimbledon? Why is everyone suddenly talking about her? Those questions create something every rising athlete hopes for: new fans who discover them not because of rankings or statistics, but because of an inspiring story. Media impact. News organizations recognize the unusual crossover between Hollywood and professional tennis, leading to broader media coverage. Entertainment outlets that might never have featured a young tennis player suddenly had a compelling story to tell. That kind of exposure matters. The more people hear an athlete's name, the more likely they are to follow future matches, watch interviews, or learn about their journey. Increased visibility can open doors to television appearances, feature stories, podcast invitations, and international media opportunities that might not have existed before. Just as importantly, it reaches casual sports fans. Not everyone studies rankings or follows every tournament on the tennis calendar. Many people discover athletes through compelling personal stories rather than match results. Garfield's endorsement helped place Alexandra Eala into that broader cultural conversation, allowing her journey to resonate with audiences who may have never watched a WTA event before. Recognition. Beyond rankings. He didn't focus on Eala's ranking. He didn't predict how many Grand Slam titles she might win. He didn't analyze her serve or her backhand. Instead, he recognized qualities that cannot be measured by statistics. He saw resilience, he saw courage, he saw humility, he saw determination. Those are qualities that define an athlete long before championships do. In professional sports, rankings constantly change. Trophies are eventually won by someone else. Records are broken. Character, however, leaves a lasting impression. Garfield's comments suggested that Alexandra Eala's greatest achievement at Wimbledon wasn't simply advancing through the draw. It was inspiring people through the way she carried herself under pressure, the respect she showed toward her opponents, and the quiet confidence she displayed throughout the tournament. That kind of recognition is often more powerful than any number beside a player's name. It reminds us that sports are about more than winning matches. They are about creating moments that inspire others to believe in themselves, work harder, and pursue goals that once seemed impossible. And that may be the biggest reason Andrew Garfield's words resonated with so many people. His praise confirmed what millions of fans had already begun to feel. Alexandra Eala is becoming more than a talented tennis player. She is becoming a symbol of perseverance, resilience, and hope, qualities that transcend sport and connect with people everywhere. Before Wimbledon, Alexandra Eala was already considered one of the brightest young talents in women's tennis. Coaches, analysts, and dedicated tennis fans knew she had enormous potential. But after her remarkable breakthrough at the All England Club, everything changed. Wimbledon didn't just elevate her ranking, it transformed her into a global name. In a matter of days, Eala went from being an exciting prospect to one of the most talked about young players in the sport. Her performances earned respect from fellow professionals, praise from the international media, and admiration from fans around the world. It was the kind of breakthrough every young athlete dreams of, a moment that changes not only how others see you, but how you see yourself. Career momentum. Her deep run propelled her to a new career high ranking, marking another historic milestone for Philippine tennis. More importantly, it proved that she could compete and win against some of the best players in the world, on one of the sport's biggest stages. That kind of success changes an athlete's mindset. Instead of wondering whether she belongs among the elite, Eala now has first-hand experience that she can challenge top-level opponents under the brightest lights. Confidence like that cannot be taught. It is earned through experience, and Wimbledon provided exactly that. With greater confidence comes greater opportunity. Tournament organizers are more likely to extend invitations to prestigious events. Higher rankings can improve seedings and reduce the need to battle through qualifying draws. Coaches, former champions, and respected analysts are now watching her development more closely than ever before. For a young player still building her career, that momentum is invaluable. A growing global fan base. Her Wimbledon run also sparked a remarkable surge in popularity across social media and digital platforms. Highlights of her matches were shared widely, interviews attracted millions of views, and fans from around the world began following her journey. Messages of support poured in not only from the Philippines, but also from Europe, North America, and other parts of Asia. What makes this especially significant is the diversity of her new audience. Many of her newest supporters had never followed her junior career. Some had never even watched a full tennis match before. They became fans because they connected with her story, her determination, humility, and fearless approach to the game. That kind of emotional connection is incredibly powerful. Unlike attention that fades after a single victory, fans who connect with an athlete's journey are often the ones who continue supporting them through every challenge, every setback, and every milestone that follows. Eala's popularity is no longer limited to the Philippines or even to Asia. She is becoming an international figure whose matches now attract viewers from across the globe, reflecting the growing reach of both her talent and her inspiring personal story. New commercial opportunities. For brands, today's most valuable athletes are not simply those who win championships. They are those who inspire people, represent positive values, and connect authentically with audiences around the world. Alexandra Eala fits that profile remarkably well. Her professionalism, humility, and perseverance make her an appealing ambassador for international companies looking to partner with rising stars who have genuine global appeal. As her profile continues to grow, she may attract new sponsorship agreements, long-term endorsement deals, and collaborations with global brands eager to invest in one of tennis's most promising young players. Her breakthrough could also lead to more appearances at major sporting events, international media interviews, charity initiatives, and opportunities to represent the game on a much larger stage. These opportunities are about more than financial success. They reflect the trust and respect that the sports world and the business world place in athletes who inspire others through both performance and character. More than a breakthrough tournament, it marked the beginning of a new chapter. She arrived in London as a talented young player with tremendous potential. She left as an international star whose name is now recognized by tennis fans, sports media, celebrities, and audiences around the world. Of course, the challenges ahead will only become greater. Opponents will study her game more closely, expectations will continue to rise, and every tournament will bring new tests. But that's the reality of becoming one of the sport's brightest young stars. The biggest difference now is that Alexandra Eala no longer enters those challenges as an unknown player, hoping to surprise the tennis world. She enters them knowing and proving that she belongs among the game's rising elite. And if her Wimbledon journey is any indication, this remarkable rise may only be the beginning. After an unforgettable Wimbledon campaign, the biggest question now is simple. For the first time in her young career, Eala enters the next phase of the season with the eyes of the tennis world firmly fixed on her. Her breakthrough in London has raised expectations, created new opportunities, and perhaps most importantly, proven that she has the talent to compete with the very best. But in professional tennis, every breakthrough is followed by an even greater challenge, proving that it wasn't just one magical tournament. The hardcourt season begins. The transition from grass to hard courts presents a completely different challenge. The speed of the surface, the movement, and the style of play all require adjustments. Fortunately, hard courts have often suited Eala's aggressive baseline game, giving her another opportunity to build on the momentum she created at Wimbledon. Every tournament during this stretch will be important not only for ranking points, but also for gaining experience against the world's top players. Strong performances could further strengthen her position among the WTA's rising stars and give her valuable confidence heading into the final Grand Slam of the year. Eyes on the US Open. After proving she can make a deep run at Wimbledon, many fans are wondering if Eala can produce another memorable performance on one of tennis's biggest stages. The US Open is known for its electric atmosphere, passionate crowds, and physically demanding matches. It rewards players who can stay composed under pressure while maintaining an aggressive mindset, qualities Eala displayed throughout her Wimbledon campaign. No one expects the road to be easy. Every Grand Slam draw is filled with experienced champions and dangerous opponents. But if Wimbledon taught us anything, it's that Alexandra Eala should never be underestimated. She has already shown that she belongs on tennis's biggest stages. Now she'll have another opportunity to prove it. Areas for continued growth. Like every young player, there are aspects of her game that can become even stronger as she gains more experience on the professional tour. Consistency against elite opponents will be one of the biggest keys to her continued success. Maintaining a high level over an entire season is often much more difficult than producing one outstanding tournament. Her serve can continue to become a greater weapon, allowing her to earn more free points during important moments. Physical endurance and recovery will also become increasingly important as she competes in longer tournaments against the world's best players week after week. Perhaps the biggest area of growth, however, is experience. The more often Eala competes in high-pressure matches, the more comfortable she will become in those situations. That experience cannot be rushed, but it can be earned, one tournament at a time. Rising expectations. Fans in the Philippines now see Eala as the future of their country's tennis. International media have identified her as one of the sport's most promising young talents. Analysts are eager to see whether she can maintain the level she displayed at Wimbledon. While those expectations can create additional pressure, they also reflect something positive. People believe in her. They believe her breakthrough wasn't an accident. They believe she has the potential to accomplish even greater things. Managing those expectations will become an important part of her journey, but based on everything we've seen so far, Eala appears to possess the maturity and professionalism needed to handle the spotlight. Can she become a Grand Slam champion? Perhaps the most exciting question of all is one that every rising star eventually faces. No one can answer that with certainty. The competition in women's tennis has never been deeper, and every Grand Slam presents new challenges. Talent alone is never enough. Winning a major requires consistency, resilience, health, confidence, and sometimes a little bit of good fortune. But what Eala has already demonstrated is that she possesses many of the qualities champions share. She competes fearlessly. She embraces pressure instead of avoiding it. She continues to improve. And perhaps most importantly, she never seems to stop believing in herself. Whether her first Grand Slam title comes next year or several years from now, one thing is already clear. Alexandra Eala has moved from being a promising prospect to becoming a genuine contender for the biggest prizes in tennis. And for fans around the world, that's exactly what makes the next chapter of her journey so exciting to watch. When people look back on Alexandra Eala's Wimbledon breakthrough years from now, they probably won't remember every scoreline or every statistic. What they'll remember is the story. A young player from a country with little history in professional tennis stepped onto one of the sport's biggest stages and proved that she belonged. She competed with courage, handled pressure with remarkable maturity, and inspired millions of people who saw more than just a talented athlete. They saw someone chasing a dream that once seemed almost impossible. That's why Andrew Garfield's words mattered. His comment wasn't simply another celebrity endorsement or a passing compliment. It reflected something much deeper. When someone outside the world of tennis describes Eala's journey as truly inspiring, it shows that her impact has reached far beyond rankings, trophies, or match results. Her story has become universal, whether you're an athlete, a student, an artist, or someone pursuing a completely different dream. It's easy to relate to the challenges she has faced, the long hours of preparation, the sacrifices, the self-doubt, the pressure to succeed, and the determination to keep moving forward despite the odds. Those are experiences that connect people everywhere. That's why Alexandra Eala's Wimbledon run resonated with audiences far beyond the tennis community. It wasn't just about winning matches, it was about showing what is possible when talent is matched with resilience, discipline, and an unwavering belief in yourself. Of course, her journey is still only beginning. There will be tougher opponents ahead, difficult losses, and new challenges that every rising star must overcome. The expectations will continue to grow, and the spotlight will become even brighter. But if Wimbledon taught us anything, it's this. Whether she wins her next tournament, reaches another Grand Slam quarterfinal, or experiences setbacks along the way, she has already accomplished something that can't be measured by rankings alone. She has inspired people. And sometimes, that's an achievement even greater than lifting a trophy. Now we'd love to hear from you. Do you think Andrew Garfield was right to call Alexandra Eala's Wimbledon journey truly inspiring? Which of Eala's matches or moments has impressed you the most so far? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to read them. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest updates on Alexandra Eala, the WTA Tour, and the biggest stories shaping the world of tennis. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.